Good morning, y'all. Well, it is day 104. I'm leaving the shelter here. Boy, was that a good decision last night or what? It came a torrential downpour. And it started about, I think, 1:30 or 2. And by 2:30 to 5:30, man, it was just coming down in buckets. In fact, during the night, 2 other people showed up and got into the shelter and were just kind of squeezing in between people, sleeping on the end, wherever they could find a place. So, yeah, I think one of them was in a hammock. He got run out of that, and I don't know where the other person came from, to be honest. But it was quite the downpour. So the trail's pretty wet, and I got a lot of bouldering to do, so it's going to make for a slippery day, that's for sure. I'm going to aim for 20, and if I make it, great. If I don't, then that's okay. I'll just have more to do tomorrow to make it to the train station. And even if for some reason I can't make it that far, can always get off at the nearest road and call a shuttle and get a ride to the train. So that's the plan. I am going to be off trail for a while. Gonna get into Brooklyn tomorrow from the train and visit a daughter, and then Saturday fly home to Asheville, North Carolina, and close on a house for my wife and visit with her. And there's some friends coming in. We're having a big party. So, yeah, a little vacation for me during the summer since it's June. So I may post one day in there somewhere, but yeah, I won't get back to New York until next week, and I won't be back on trail till Friday. So it'll be about a week that I'm off, but I probably will post something in there. And that's about it. It's a little before 7 o'clock right now, and it was supposed to rain till 11, but it quit about 30 minutes ago, so I decided to go for it. So here we are, and hopefully it's done for the day. I don't know, but whatever it is, we'll have to deal with it. So let's get going. Today I'm walking through the Harriman State Park, which is named for railroad magnate Edward Henry Harriman. He was born in 1848, but he didn't really like school and he dropped out at the age of 14. He got a job on Wall Street as a floor messenger, but proved to be quite adept at reading and projecting stocks. And by the age of 21, he had a seat on the New York Stock Exchange. He was fascinated with trains, and he entered the railroad business officially when he purchased the bankrupt Lake Ontario Southern Railway, and within a year it was profitable and he sold it to the Pennsylvania Railroad. He then bought the Illinois Central Railroad, expanded it westward, but his most ambitious project was to purchase the bankrupt Union Pacific in 1897. He changed operations, and he soon owned the Southern Pacific and the Central Pacific Railroads, but was then sued by President Theodore Roosevelt, and the Supreme Court forced Harriman to break up his empire. He built a mansion here, and he purchased over 20,000 acres, which is now part of the 40,000-acre state park. But he only lived in the house for a few months before he died in 1909. His net worth was near $200 million, which he left entirely to his wife. Hey y'all, so day 104 has come to a close, and you're probably wondering where I am sitting. But I was hiking today, and just, I've had a few days like that where it just wasn't feeling it, and mentally just wasn't having a good day. And I was just, my left foot was hurting, both my feet are a little swollen just because of the bouldering and rocks and everything. And then I started realizing why it is that I've reached this point. And I hiked 11 days and took a 0 at Harper's Ferry. And then I hiked 11 days and had a 0 at Port Clinton, Pennsylvania with Jay. And then I've hiked another 10 or 11 days. So I've basically hiked 33 days and had 2 days off. So it just made sense why I was so tired and exhausted. And I was thinking all these other people were getting off trail, and I'm sure that the same thing happened to them. But I hit the 5-mile mark today, and I crossed this road, and I took a break. I sat down. I was drinking some, Gatorade, and there were just tons of rocks in front of me. And this car pulled up behind me, and a hiker got out who I'd seen the day before. He had gotten off that night as well, went down to town and stayed at a local motel. And so I said, well, who brought you up here? And he said, I just have an Uber driver. So I said, well, hold on. And I walked over and asked the Uber driver, said, how close is it to the nearest train station? And he said, it's just right down the hill, about 7 miles. It's in Harriman State Park. So I said, well, how much does it cost to run me down there? And he said, $10, $15, whatever. And so I said, I think I'm going to do it. So that's what happened. It was kind of called an audible and made the decision right there on the spot. But I just figured I would go on into the city as opposed to tomorrow and see my daughter and just kind of have a little vacation because, I've been walking for 33 days straight almost. So, he'd run me down to the Harriman State Park train station. I took that through Secaucus into Penn Station, New York, and then, caught the appropriate trains out here to Brooklyn. And here I am in my daughter's apartment. And, so I got here basically one day early and got to spend some time with her and her boyfriend, George. And, I'm still going to be flying home on Saturday to see my wife, and I'll still come back through the city and see my daughter again and meet some other friends at that time. But, that's just kind of how it happened today. I just decided to kind of take a day early and come into the city. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to eat some nice ethnic food, which I always enjoy, Indian and Thai and Chinese and sushi and all those crazy things. And then get to go home and see my wife. So she was proud of me. She kept telling me, if you're getting tired, just take a day off or go into the city or, you don't have to keep pushing so hard. So as usual, she was right. So give my feet a break here and have a little mini week-long vacation or almost a week, like everybody else in the summer, I guess. So that's what happened. And the little historical vignette on Henry Harriman kind of worked out as well, since they ended up leaving out of the train station named after him. So it all kind of worked out, I guess. But I only did 5 miles, but I don't really care. I wasn't going to push it much harder anyway. I think tomorrow I was only going to end up doing 8 or 9. So just like I said, took a day early. So that's the story. I'll throw one more video up during my week off just to show you what's going on. City and resupplies and puppies and all those good fun things. And then I'll be back on trail doing the daily thing again next week, in about a week, actually, a week from today or a week from tomorrow. So that's the kind of the story. And I appreciate everybody for watching, and be patient, and I'll be back on trail soon. I'm not quitting. It was nice to get a real rest period here. I think 2 days off in 33 was probably too much for an old guy like me. So we'll see y'all tomorrow, or I should say in a few days I'll throw up another video. So maybe a few days, not tomorrow. But thanks for watching and all the comments, and I'll answer everything while I'm off. Take care. See you later. Bye-bye.